My name is Shen Rujing. That year, a transfer student named Song Xun came to Beicheng No. 1 middle school. That guy is very arrogant and has a lot of people surrounding him. He is definitely a child of destiny. As for me, I have no sense of existence. The head teacher arranged for me to sit at the same table with him. One time his friend asked him if I was pretty. He didn't even raise his head and said coldly that he had no impression. Later, on a damp and rainy night, in a narrow corridor, Song Xun was soaked all over. He pushed me against the wall and begged me not to break up. The next time they met was on a dating variety show. Song Xun became the second son of the song group and became a top star as soon as he debuted. Everyone knows that he has a powerful background and is very arrogant. I am just an unknown person, and no one connects us together. No one even knew we had talked. During the Q&A session of a dating variety show, a female guest asked Song Xun what his first love was like. He raised his eyelids and said nonchalantly that he couldn't remember. These 4 words hurt my heart. I could only cover it up. Everyone thought that Song Xun would definitely not be in a good mood when he saw me again. But he has changed. He releases fewer singles and stops going to drinking parties. His friend went to his house and caught him coaxing the person behind him, and he even asked his friend to call her sister-in-law. My friend was shocked and saw that it was me. My cousin sent me a message saying that Song Xun's global tour concert's first stop will be in Beicheng. I was in this small town in my hometown. It was early autumn and the scenery was beautiful. Aunt Lu asked me to stay, but I refused. I took the early bus back to City A carrying my toolbox, but the signal was poor. I know that the song god my cousin was talking about is Song Xun, who was my first love 7 years ago. The bus swayed along the way, and the broken wall at the entrance of the village was replaced by the mural I painted, which was very beautiful. After entering the city, the signal got better and Song Xun was the hot search on Weibo. I knew that he and I were from 2 different worlds, so I replied to my cousin and encouraged her to study. He also promised her that if she ranked in the top 10 in the class, he would sponsor tickets for her next concert. My cousin was very excited and asked me to go to the concert to support her. I was moved by her and agreed. Early Thursday morning, I arrived at the studio and Sister Chen was there. She was concerned about my bad complexion and said that I would be going on a business trip to North City in the afternoon. I said there was an expedited order and the client specifically asked me to go. Sister Chen advised me to take care of my health and wanted me to talk to Master He to take more local orders. I declined politely. Sister Chen knew that I was stubborn, so she reminded me to be careful. I packed my things and set off. It was evening when I arrived in North City. My cousin sent me another message, and I felt less nervous. Before reaching the stadium, there were advertisements everywhere on the road, and Song Xun looked very handsome on the big screen. I felt out of place with the young girls on the scene. I went to collect the materials, and when it was my turn in the queue, the staff was suspicious of me and would not let me collect them on my behalf. I tried no solution, but it didn't work. Just when I was feeling awkward, Song Xun's voice rang out, asking me to send me a gift for the studio. When I heard Song Xun's voice, memories came flooding back. After he left, the staff gave me a gift box. I took it and watched him disappear. I took the bus back to the hotel and looked at the notebook in the gift box. This reminds me of my favorite book in high school, The Little Prince, and I also like this sentence. I took the photo and showed it to my cousin, who was very excited. I didn't expect to use the word kind-hearted person to describe Song Xun. I arrived at the customer's villa area, and after the security guard confirmed my identity, I went into work. After the rehearsal, Song Xun came to the villa where he was staying, followed by his assistant. I heard the combination lock sound and saw Song Xun. We looked at each other and my mind went blank. He praised it as very beautiful, and I thought of that summer night 7 years ago. The young assistant was confused, and Song Xun went upstairs. The young assistant smiled at me and I continued to work. After I finished the draft, I stepped on empty air and got injured. Song Xun appeared with a cold tone. I refused his help and wanted to leave. He stopped me again and asked me if I was going to the hospital alone. I said I would go to the clinic in the morning. He insisted that I go to the hospital and said it was a work injury. Otherwise, carry me there. I had no choice but to agree. He took me to the hospital, and there was silence after we got in the car. I smell cigarettes. He has learned to smoke. I peeked, and he was discovered. When I arrived at the hospital, I pretended not to know him. The doctor checked and said I had no broken bones, just soft tissue contusion. He prescribed some medicine and told me to go home and apply cold and hot compresses. I left the clinic and saw Song Xun. I thought he was impatient and let him go first. He took the prescription and went to get the medicine. The way back was even quieter. Arriving at the hotel, I thanked him. He remained silent until the mural construction period was guaranteed not to be delayed. Fiddling with the lighter. I was about to leave, but he called me back. Asked me why we broke up.